before you, man.
Okay, my name is Jevon Campbell, and I am against cell phone use in the school. Well, Taya and Kiana mentioned that cell phone is good for like communicating with parents and with other people, but don't schools have telephones like in the main office that they can always use and it's readily available? And she also mentioned, and I believe Kiana also mentioned that like at the Twin Towers they use the cell phones to communicate with parents, but as I said, you could always go to the main office and go use the phone. Is it a minute again?
You don't have to recognize them.
Oh, okay. So, most of the time when you have a phone inside of the school, they're usually only connected to the other phones inside of that school. And if they aren't connected to those other phones
15 seconds
of the school, then they're usually complicated for students to use. And in the case of 9/11, then power lines are usually...
You must make a question, not a statement.
I know, I'm getting
Well,
to
just
that.
get to the statement.
Oh, okay.
Get to the question.
So power lines were cut off, and phones are wireless. So how exactly is that supposed to work then in those situations?
Well, teachers there in the main, like aides there in the main office, usually help. Like they're told like the special keypads that they're supposed to use. So the students are supposed to tell the aide like to what like if they want to call somebody, and they would put in the number to code, and then they would let the students put in the number.
In one school, there could have been many people who had certain like family members in that place, so the phones, the aid people's phones may have been overused, so it would have been more convenient to have used their cell phones, wouldn't it?
I agree that the cell phones might have been more convenient, but still there's many other downfalls to cell phones. So in all, it works out better that they use the telephone in school. So telephones could be a distraction to class time. Like when the cell phone rings, a lot of times what happens is that they look around for cell phone. A lot of times the teachers check. This even happened to me before in a personal experience. I didn't know it was my cell phone, and we had to check after class, and it took out like 10 minutes of class time. So it takes out a lot of valuable time, and periods are short, like only like 45 minutes in a lot of schools. So they're a big distraction. Yes, Taya.
Many students have their parents tell them to turn off their cell phones or put them on vibrate or silence during class. So if this happens, how would it be a distraction?
Well, as you said, many parents. There's still exceptions with some parents, and so like they would still hear the phone.
Okay, we need to wrap this up.
And as my teammates have said, that they could cheat during during like exams, and that they could hide it under desk, and they could turn down like the brightness. Like a lot of times, cell phone has this adjustment part where you can turn down the brightness, so you won't be able to see it. And as Jesse said, you could look down on it occasionally, so it's not noticeable. And a lot of times, children, like when they're thinking, they might put down their head, or they might like look up. Like a lot of children in this class, including me, they might look up to think. So like it would be hard to notice.
Okay. No, that's it. The time's up. Okay.
Okay, and students also as I said with the hiding, there's also a lot of stuff on phones, like they could play mobile games, they could like shop because like the parents pay for it, and they could browse websites and listen to music silently. Maybe they might have headphones and covered under a hood or something to hide it. And they like watch videos, and it's a big distraction, and they miss valuable lessons during class time. And the people who do this end up with a lot of times with low test grades, like 70s, 60s, 50s, sometimes worse. So it's a very
Okay, good.
therefore cell phones should not be used in schools.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jevon.
Next time.
How long was his?
This is 6 minutes.